Hi, and welcome to another video of the Target Individual program, the Target Individual experience. So it's been a day later since I did my previous video, and I can tell they weren't too happy with it in terms of me exposing them for what they're doing. After I uploaded the video, I was on my way to pick up the kids from school. And still getting the same subliminal threats from the perp civilians, as well as the constant police presence. Okay, and I know yesterday was Halloween, but they will always use situations, holidays, what have you, to step up their targeting because they have a legitimate excuse to be out in full force out in the street, right? So they will always incorporate a heavy dose of targeting, of harassment during those times. Okay, so again, so yesterday I left the house to pick up the kids, and I got at the building, and I saw this young girl coming towards me, staring at me, and so I started recording because again, when I pick up Ethan and Alyssa from school, there was another young girl that they were using who was staring at me in the same manner. And this has happened to me time and time again, because what they do is they recruit these young teenagers they try to run the pedophile theme, trying to say that, the target is interested in young teenage girls or young teenage boys if the target is a female, or like the same sex, that sort of thing, right? So I started recording, and because I know this is what they love to do, because again, these people are psychopathic in nature. They like to torment you. They like to tell you what it is that they're doing to you or they're going to do. They like to use women, men, who have you, to try to change your personality, your views in certain ways. For example, using gay men to try to insinuate that since no woman would talk to me, that I would be gay, right? And then after they send that subliminal messages, they'll send gay men again, and they'll start targeting me and stuff like that, right? So it is a constant barragement of silent subliminal psychological harassment that goes on, and the police is involved, as well as in the high ups within the FBI and the CIA, right, who basically are the architect of these programs. And so there was an article that came out yesterday or the day before, sorry. It's from The Intercept, right? Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here, The Intercept. October 29th, so 3 days ago. And it talks about how the FBI spends a lot of time spying on black Americans. Now, I've been saying this for decades, okay? There's others have been saying this, but a lot of us black people, we're so indoctrinated, and we have our heads in the clouds, right? That we don't quite understand, because we don't understand the history. We read about the history. For those of us who are still alive or older, who have experienced the history, they tend to want to put it behind and not, bring it up or anything like that, right? But it's the same thing the FBI did in the 60s and 70s, okay? And you guys can read this article. It's on the Intercept website. It's called the FBI Surveillance Black Activists, right? And then here's an article here on Timeline that said, when the black justice movement got too powerful, the FBI got scared and got ugly. And they're still doing this stuff. So this is not new. This is continuously been going on. And the fact that me as a target, me being a black person, to have other black people participate in this is shameful. Knowing that they themselves are being surveilled, right? I mean, that's what you call Stockholm syndrome, right? So, it's kind of ridiculous, really, when you look at it, right? So here's another article from the ACLU. Not going to read it, but it says the FBI won't hand over its surveillance records on black identity extremists, so we're suing. Now, they created that term, okay? They created that term to label peaceful black activists as being extremists. They lie on black people all the time. They do it in the police department, police officers, the FBI, the CIA. Don't matter what section of law enforcement, what section of the security agencies, they lie on black people as a whole every single day. Yet black people still participate in a program that these people created, right, in order to subjugate, to stop, to destroy a person or people who they deemed as a threat. And they try to make it seem like a security threat, right? Or maybe it's a security to them, right? But anyone who is willing to take up, not arms, but take up the mantle to fight for justice and for economic freedom, economic equality for black people, they are labeled to be a criminal and extremist, a terrorist. Okay? So, black people watching this, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Okay? Because whatever little power you feel, whatever little money you're getting, is nothing compared to when they start targeting your kids, even yourself as you get older, right? And you can't do shit about it because you participate in a criminal action and within a criminal organization, right? So keep doing what you're doing. Anyway, all right. So I don't want to waste no time. I want to get to the video because I got a lot to do. And so this is the first video you guys are going to see is that I after I pick up Ethan, wait, let me see, it's trying to make sure I got the right video here. Okay, so it's bring this video. I'm trying to get the stuff in order here because I need to do this. Okay, so I think this goes after. All right, there you go. Okay, so left the house, left out the building, and again I talk about that young lady walking towards me, staring at me with that look, and so I started recording her, and this is just a quick glimpse of her as she's walking by, right? And again, you'll see that the hand signal with the palm fixation drill. I'm going to pause it. She stopped playing with her hair, and as she gets close to me, she'll turn her hands to where, if I look at her, right, I will be looking at her palm as she brings her hands down. See that? Okay, and then what she did, she looks at the window in the building, right? Again, because it has the word "win" in it, right? Just like the guy riding the bike who had the champion on it, and he's like all up in my face staring at me as he's riding by. Well, the same thing happened to me today after I left my class on my way to go and pick up Alyssa from school because she was sick. So they called me, and I had to, I always have to say that my class had ended, right? So it was the perfect time. I still had another class afterwards, but I couldn't go to it because I had to go pick up because she was sick. So again, as I was walking to go to the bus stop, another guy, same sweater, the champion sweater, off my face walking by. I didn't record it, but I decided after he passed that I was going to record it because you'll see two police vehicles across the street, right? They had pulled over a red car, and again, the red theme is at play here, and you guys are going to see. I'm going to explain it to you exactly how it is they're doing it, right? So now, right? So you'll see as I'm walking, I'm still recording now because I know there's more, right? So what's the synchronization? Okay. as I'm walking by, he comes out the building. Okay. Again, he's one of the perpetrators on the block. And then he comes out, and then he starts looking in the direction that the young woman was walking, because again, this is how they get your attention. This is what they do, right? So he comes and he walks out comes out the building, stood there. Then as I got close, he walks off, as you can see, looking in that direction. But then he turns around, right, to walk the other way, right? Remember, you see him go that way, right? But then he turned around and walked the other way. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. Right. So basically what they try to do is that, again, they'll try to use people to falsely accuse you so they can have a reason to come and arrest you. And then what that dude is, he's like supposed to be a witness of whatever had happened, whatever they're getting this young lady to say, right? This is the stuff that they do. They're very crafty with it, okay? And like I said, this happened to me all the time. It has stopped for a while, but because, since I'm in school and they don't want that, right? I'm trying to improve myself. They don't like that at all. They don't want that at all, because their goal is to destroy you, right? As Byron Allen said, the 4Ds, right? But for TIs, it's first. It's not even the 4Ds. It's a S and 4Ds. It's a setup, right? It's a demonize. It's a dismiss, a discredit, and a destroy. Get to the corner, right? See the ambulance flashing, and then there was a police car parked up there, right? So again, you see here, you see the dude now? He was walking behind me, right? So you see he went that way, he walking behind me. He turns around now, he looks at me, okay? This is what they do, ladies and gentlemen, all right? These people are just, it's their job. That's what it is. I can't even say they have no life, because that is their life, and it is their job, all right? So again, like I said, being that it was Halloween, so they'll use that as an excuse, a legitimate excuse, to carry out a heavy dose of targeting. Okay, so let's see here. What happens here? Okay, so right, so now, okay, so you guys have seen this already, how they always use these mentally ill people at times to send me a subliminal message. And this is again, coercive persuasion programming, right? And so let me hold on here, let me do this. Okay, so let's go to psychological manipulation. Let's go to coercive mind control tactics, and let's go to tactic 7, right, which is to intimidate the person with the force of group-sanctioned secular psychological threats. For example, it may be suggested or implied that failure to adopt the approved attitude, belief, or consequent behavior will lead to severe punishment or dire consequences such as physical or mental illness, the appearance of a prior physical illness, drug dependence, and such and such. So this is, when they do this, this is the, again, because I am talking about it, I am doing a video, is to label me and to say, okay, well, he's mentally ill, right? Because see, that's the excuse that they use to get away with what they're doing, right? Like I said, they're very crafty in this program, and how they use this program to subjugate, to label, to discredit individuals who they have experimented on using directed energy weapon, as well as illegal microchipping us for the purpose of remote neuromonitoring. Okay, so, and again, you'll see the color he's wearing. He's wearing red, right? So you guys seeing this, because if you look at not the previous video, but the one before that, you'll see how they use the people with mental illness in my targeting. All right. Okay, so let's go here. And again, you'll see, a lot of people wearing red. Okay, this is after even today. Okay, even today. And again, it's a red theme that they play out. So once I start doing my video, and once I get them, like I get a good video, I got good footage of what they're doing. The next day, right? I'll see a lot of people wearing the color red. Okay, and I'm gonna show you guys. You wait and see. So walking the kids back from boys and girls, and this guy comes walking across the street, and he has a candy wrapper in his mouth, just in his mouth. There's no candy, he's not eating it. The candy wrapper is in his mouth, right? And again, this is what they do when you start talking about this stuff. See, they think that they can demean me or make me feel or belittle me because I talk about the psychological abuse that I experienced because I'm a man, right? But no, I don't feel that way. And so they'll try to use, situation and things like this, right? Because again, this is all about them wanting to get away with what it is that they're doing, to silence you, okay, as a target, particularly if you are a male, right? I don't know in terms of what they do to women TIs in terms of how they try to shut them up, but stuff like this, right? So you'll see, let's go back a little bit. I just had to blow the video up a little bit. Okay. And you'll see that in his mouth. That is a candy wrapper, okay? In his mouth. And the inside of the candy wrapper is yellow, right? And it's funny too because further up, right, after I had turned the video off, there was another man, a white guy across the street, takes a lollipop out of his mouth when he saw me, a yellow lollipop, put it back in his mouth. Basically saying that I'm afraid because I'm talking about what it is that they're doing, which is, to me, like silly, stupid, and ridiculous. You don't tell someone who has been psychologically traumatized or a person who has been raped or sexually abused or psychologically abused, what have you, to shut up or be quiet about their experience. And so this is what they try to do to us because again, they don't want you guys understand. I'm making a good point, so now they have to make noise because they're listening actively, to what I'm saying. So again, you don't tell those people to shut up about the experience, right? But this is what they try to do to us as TIs. Okay, so I don't fall for it, because I know better. And I know the best thing that we can do as TIs is to expose them, right? Okay, is my phone ringing? Okay, all right. Okay, so I should have played this one first, but anyway. So this is me leaving Boys and Girls Club. I have my phone. I start recording because again, the synchronization. You'll see the police vehicle. So you see that? Every time I walk out of the school or the building, or not every time, but most times, or Boys and Girls, because again, I've been being heavily targeted for the past couple of days. They'll do the synchronization. And then this guy, as the police car drives by, this guy, again, working with the police, he's looking in the direction the police car is driving. He takes out his phone, right? Looks at it, okay? And then, puts it back in his folder. That's what they do. Okay, so I should have played this video first. So, please excuse me. All right, so let's go to the next video. Where we at here now? Okay, this one was that. Okay, all right. So this needs to. Yeah, this video was in the wrong place. Let's see which one is this. Okay. All right. So here's the next video again, in which I was basically trying to record the sounds, okay, from the police sirens and the fire trucks. Okay. I just wanna put that up there. So now this goes here. All right. Okay, so because sometimes they're, you know, they want me to so this was after the guy was walking with the candy wrapper in his mouth. Okay, it says, see, again, yeah, the civilian perpetrator. He's like staring at me, you know? Okay, so we're on our way to trick-or-treat with the kids. I'm on my way to trick-or-treat with the kids. Okay, and let's see, next video should be okay. All right, so I met up with Pam. Okay, let me so I met up with Pam. Okay, she was on her way home and she got off the bus and she met us. All right, so we're walking with the kids, going into the stores, the trick-or-treating and stuff like that, and then we get to Parkside and Flatbush, and of course here comes the fire truck, right? You see, at that point my first video had went up, so right now this is retaliation. This is the noise campaign that is going to be going on, because for the rest of last night, from, I would say it ended about after 12. Okay, there was constant fire trucks, constant police sirens, constant ambulances. Okay, now I want you to watch the guy standing in the intersection right here, and again he's gonna be putting his hands over his mouth. You see that? And he pinches his nose. Okay. Okay. Now also, leading up to this, they were using, you know, this week has been a pretty rainy week, right? But I've been seeing a lot of people wearing yellow, and not just yellow raincoats, but the color yellow. And again, when you start to see stuff like this, it's something that they do. That's why the guy with the candy bar, with the inside of the candy bar was yellow. The guy standing on the across the street when I'm walking, takes the lollipop out of his mouth, was a yellow lollipop. I had called Pam. This was Thursday, Wednesday night, and she answered the phone and she's like, "Yellow," and I'm like, "What do you mean yellow?" You know, something that she'd never said that before. But again, using that color again into my targeting, right? Like I'm supposed to be scared. I'm not scared. How am I scared? I been here since my targeting began. I didn't move out of state. I didn't move to a different borough. I'm still here, fighting, exposing what is being done. If I'm yellow, and again, this is projection because they're the one that's afraid because they know what they're doing is very illegal. It's criminal. Okay, it is against the Nuremberg Code. It is highly, highly. What's the word I'm looking for? Conspiratorial against my rights. Okay, and torture. Okay, so they're the projectionists. So, like I said, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you said, bounce off of me, sticks back to you. I'm gonna take it to your level, which is 5 and 6, right? Or 5 and 6 year olds. Okay. So anyway, let's go to the next video. All right. So everything that they try to do, I've been here exposing it. Okay. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not afraid. That's the one thing that they try to do is use fear-based conditioning to make you afraid, so you won't speak out. So here it is again. You're gonna see a perp coming across the street. As I had turned to, you just saw that. Let's go in the. All right, hold up. Let's see if I can pause it right there. So he comes across the street. He's staring at me now because he wants to get my attention. Wearing the color red again. Okay. And you hear me say catch them? Yeah, because I caught them. So she starts bringing up water. So you see the guy that walks across the street, he gonna put his hands over his mouth, right? Watch this. Let's see if you guys can see that. Maybe you can recognize it, but he put his hands over his mouth. And again, all this is happening while a police car is driving by. And what she does, she talks about the water, the guy putting his hands over his mouth, the police car driving by, and then she opens up her bag, right, and then closes it, right? Didn't take anything out of it, wasn't looking for anything. She just opens it up in front of me and closes it. Okay, now check this out. Again, right? How well organized these people are. So they know because they're watching all of us. We're all surveilled. Okay. See the woman in the red? Okay, see what she's doing? She's doing this. Okay, so again, you see the red theme at play here. All right. Okay. Yeah, you guys hearing the sirens outside there? Again, just exposing what it is that they're doing. Okay, so there's another video I'm missing. What did I do with that video? Let me see. Find that video here. I think this is it. This is the video. Okay. Okay, so you guys have saw the fire truck when we got to Parkside. So we're on our way back to the house. Okay, and then they'll do another dose of noise campaign. Okay, that was this one. All right. Okay, so let me just, and you guys see me doing this in real time. Okay, so yeah, I know there was a video I forgot, and this is probably them with the technology. It made me forget, because again, they don't want me exposing certain things. Okay, so we're like walking back now, almost on the block. We're on the opposite side of the street, and fire trucks again. And it's funny too because when we were walking in the opposite side, going to Parkside, we stopped by the store and this guy, young guy, muscular guy, well built, you know, he turns and he's like smiling at Pam, and she's like smiling back at him. All of that again to cause, what I'm saying, to because again, I could tell it was orchestrated, right? And it was hilarious. It was really really hilarious to me, when they do these things, because again, the use of emotional manipulation, right, against the TIs is something that they do all the time, and it's very powerful. But once like I said, I may love Pam and care about her deeply, but you know what I'm saying, when it's time for me to walk away and be like, you know what, that's it. For all the shit I've been through with her, she's been put me through the line, the the text, the sexting, and all that stuff, and the videos that she's sending, her exes, or all while we were in a relationship together, right? And I still stuck around. Okay. You see how she sticks her finger in her ears as she's walking in front of me. Okay, now she turns around, and I want you guys to see this, right? Check this out. Now this is what they do. So she sticks her hands in her ears, her fingers in her ears, right? And again, she turns around because the guy called. Again, it's all orchestrated. Now, if I show you a picture of my ex-fiance who recently got in contact with me on Facebook about maybe 2 months ago, and, we talk once in a while and stuff like that, you will see that she looks exactly like her. But this is what they do. Anyone who you've talked to, you come in contact with, who you've spoken to in the past, you had a relationship with, they will find people. They will do diligent research and finding individuals that look like your ex-girlfriends, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-wives, your ex-husband, ex-family, not ex-family member, other family members, friends that you went to high school with, that you used to work with, all of this. They will do this constantly. Now watch the girl in the hat, right? And she's going to do her hands like this. Now, again, because they use cultural references, right? Or, like when like back in the days when, gay men who were very flamboyant, when they will walk, they will have their hands like this and swinging their hands like this. So they will do that to me constantly sometimes at time. So you'll see the girl in the hat, and you can see how she positions her hands. You see that? Okay? And again, her that looks like my ex. You'll see her holding her phone up. Okay, I mean, you can barely see, but you can definitely see a glimpse of it. Let me show you guys. Okay, and that's what she does, right? And this is the second time they have used a young woman who as I was talking to Pam. Yep, the second time today it happened. And that's yesterday. And here you see the fire truck again with the active noise campaign. Okay. All right, so all right. So they're going into the store. And you'll be amazed to see how many people participate in this stuff, right? It's really amazing. It's not unbelievable because I'm showing you guys that it's not unbelievable. So here is today after I left class. I had to go pick up Alyssa from school. Like I said, prior to me getting to the intersection, there's a guy wearing the same color sweater as the guy in the previous video with the is a champion sweater. Again, staring at my face, because again you see the police vehicle there, right? Just like the other previous video where the police car drove by, he rides up on a bike, staring at me at my face. Then the other guy looks in the direction where the police was driving to. This is what's called third party. See, the cops don't want to come out and just harass me like that, because I record them. They know this, so they'll use the civilians, right? So we get to the I get to the intersection, and you'll see they pulled over an individual, right? Now look at the color of the car that they pull over. It's a red vehicle, right? So you have two police cars pulling over one vehicle, and they're standing there. And if you look and you see the police right here, at this point he turns and he stares directly at me, and he's going to look up at the building window. Okay. Okay. So now, I got off the bus. I'm walking to pick up Alyssa. This guy comes walking in front of me, and he's like playing with his hair. And you know, I kind of ignored that part. I was like, okay, whatever. But it wasn't until I start to this woman come across the street. She's also wearing a red sweater. And if you look at how everybody else is walking, right, and then you look at how these two are walking, how they are in stride with each other, step for step. And you guys will see it in the video. And again, that is because again, it's out of the ordinary. Everybody's walking at a very slower pace, and they're walking step for step, almost like military, marching. So that's why I started recording, because I recognized and understood what was happening. And again, because the red theme playing out, new linguistic programming, power of association playing out. The police stopping the red vehicles, all the people wearing, not all the people, but a lot of people wearing red yesterday, even this morning. So from time to time. So she look, in stride. Same pace, in stride, right? Okay? This is something that they do, and again, it is to get your attention, because they know how they condition you. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand that. And this is not stopping. This is going to happen because, I've continued doing my video. So whether I do it or not, it's going to happen. And I've said this before. And sometimes you guys may not see me do a video for a week, or maybe even 2 weeks. Then I'll come back with videos just to show you guys, look, it's a continuation. It's not going to stop. And I am not going to stop recording and exposing what it is that they're doing. Okay? So that's it for the video. I will see you guys on the next video, okay?